Assalamu alaikum viewers, from behalf of your live team I am here. Today's our topic is history of IMF. The International Monetary Fund is an international organization headquartered in Washington DC, constituted of 189 countries working to foster global monetary cooperation, secure financial stability, facilitate international trade, promote high employment and sustainable economic growth, and reduce poverty around the world periodically, depending on the World Bank for its resources. Formed in 1944 at the Bretton Woods Conference, primarily by the ideas of Harry Dexter White and John Maynard Keynes, it came into formal existence in 1945 with the 29 member countries and the goal of the reconstructing the international payment system. It now plays a central role in the management of the balance of payment difficulties and international financial crisis. Countries contribute funds to a pool through a court system from which countries experiences balance of an payments problem can borrow money. As of the 2016, the funds and had XDR 477 billions, about US $667 billion through the funds and the other activities such as the gathering of the statistics, analysis, surveillance of its members' economies, and the demand for the particular policies. The IMF working to improve the economies of its member countries. The organization objectives stated in the article of the agreement are to promote international monetary cooperation, international trade, high employment, exchange rate stability, sustainability, economic growth, and making resources available to the member countries in financial difficulties. IMF funds come from two major sources: courts and loans. Courts, which are procured funds of member nations, generate most IMF funds. The size of the member courts depends on the economic and financial importance in the world. Nation with the larger economic importance have larger courts and quotas. The quotas are increased periodically as a means of the boosting the IMF resources in the form of the special drawing rights. The current manager, director, and the chairwoman of the IMF is Bulgarian economist Kristalina Georgieva, who has held the post since October 1, 2019. Gita Gopinath was appointed as the chief economist of the IMF from 1st October 2018. She received her PhD in economics from the Princeton University. Prior to the IMF appointment, she was economic advisor to the chief minister of the Kerala, India. Function: according to the IMF itself, its work to foster global growth of economy and stability by the providing policies, advice, and the financing the member of the working with the developing nation to help them achieve macroeconomic stability and reduce the poverty. Rational for this in this private international capital market function imperfectly, and many countries have limited access to the financial market. Such market imperfection, together with the imbalance of the payments financing, provide the justification for official financing, without which many countries could only correct large external payment imbalance through the measure with the adverse economic consequences. The IMF provides alternative source of financing. Upon the funding of the IMF, its three primary functions were to oversee the fixed exchange rate arrangement between the countries, thus helping national government manage their exchange rates and allowing these governments to privatize economic growth and to provide short-term capital to add the imbalance of the payments. The assistance was meant to prevent the spread of international economic crisis. The IMF was also intended to help mend the pieces of the international economy after the Great Depression and World War II, as well as the provide capital investment for the economic growth and the projections such as the infrastructure. The IMF role was fundamentally altered by the floating exchange rates post 1971. It shifted to the examining the economic policies of the countries with the IMF loan agreement to determine if a shortage of the capital was due to the economic fluctuation or the economic policy. The IMF also researched what types of government policy would ensure economic recovery. A particular concern of IMF was to prevent financial crises such as those in Mexico 1982, Brazil in 1987, East Asia in 1998, and Russia in 1998, for spreading and threatening the entire global financial and currency system. The challenge was to promote and implement policy that reduce the frequency of crisis among the emerging market countries, especially the middle income countries, which are vulnerable to massive capital outflows rather than maintaining a position of the our sides of only exchange rates. Their function became one of the surveillance of the overall macroeconomic performance of the member countries. Their role became a lot more active because the IMF now manage economic policy rather than just exchange rates. In addition, the IMF negotiates condition on lending and loan under their policies of conditionality, which was established in 1950s. Low-income countries can borrow on a concessional terms, which means there is a period of time with no interest rates. So they extend credit facilities, the same standby credit, mainly credit facilities, and the rapid credit facilities. Non-concessional loans, which includes interest rates, are provided mainly through the standby arrangement and the flexibility credit line, the precautionary and liquidity line, and the extend funds facilities. The IMF provides emergency assistance via the rapid function financing instrument to members facing urgent balance of the payment needs.